Good morning and welcome to this morning's IGTV. Today I'm talking about where is the easy button? Where is the easy button, please? On this whole parenting journey thing, where's the easy button? And why does it feel so hard? And when it feels hard, why does it feel so frantic? I mean, look, we all know there's no training for this parenting thing, but parenting teens is like, it's like a Spartan race. You know those Spartan races where you have to go up and over things and through the mud and under and you can't breathe, and then there's they might tell you there's foam and bubbles because it's all fun and sunshine, but it's not. It's not. It's not. It's like a Spartan race, and you're like getting all like cut up and you got all the things, and really what you want is the easy button. I would like the easy button. Good morning. My name is Allie Payne. I am a certified life coach, certified relationship systems coach, one of only 70 people in Canada to hold both designations. I have been working with parents of teens for the last 16 years to help them end this painful disconnection, the emotional baffling blow-ups, the stressful silences, and build healthy, lasting relationships based on trust and respect. I was also a very troubled teen. I was very angry. I acted out in all kinds of ways. I was a 5 chili spice mouthpiece with parents, teachers, coaches, the whole thing. And I have raised 2 teens who are now adults. So everything that I share here and on my blogs and whatever is all based on a culmination of all of those experiences. So, all right, let's talk about the easy button, shall we? So, you know the Staples commercial, the big red, the easy button? I was going to get one for today, but I decided no, it's just another thing in the house and I don't need that. So the easy button is like that. So when we're parenting children, the child's brain is very different, okay? They went through a massive brain renovation when they were around 2 years old as a toddler, okay? That's not easy. Parenting a toddler, not easy, because they're just full of all the emotions and tantruming and nothing works. Then you kind of find your stride, right? When you're parenting a child, you sort of find your stride. Like you kind of, you get a rhythm with your child and they are getting to know you and you're getting to know them. And so you don't necessarily need an easy button, but even still you want to find it because the heartbreak, the emotional response as a parent, can I get a yes if this is true? Type yes if this is true. When your child is upset or hurting or experiencing discomfort or not being treated well, it's like tenfold in your heart. Type yes if that's true for you. It's like tenfold for you as a parent, right? That when your child is having this kind of discomfort, it's 10 times as painful or as uncomfortable for you. And so you want to fix it. Yeah, right? Thank you. Yes. So you want to fix it, right? Easy button. So when they're a child, that might look like, I have done this, okay? So I am not judging. It might look like, oh, no, don't cry. Here's a treat. Here's a treat. Here, have this. You're okay. We're fine. Here's a treat. Or it might look like complete distraction. Oh, no, let's sit down and read your favorite book. Let's not, no, we're not going to feel those. Let's just sit down and read your favorite book, right? Or it might look like, oh, look, there's a bird. There's a sparkly object over there. So it might look like distraction. It might look like bribery. I don't know. It might look like soothing by not actually dealing with the thing, but you're like turning them towards something else because the discomfort that you are seeing them go through is so freaking painful, right? So there's easy buttons all over. It could be, as a child. It could be, oh, here's your iPad. No, play it. Here's your iPad. So what we're doing as parents of children is we're teaching our kids to also look for an easy button out of this kind of like emotional discomfort, because we have emotional discomfort, which of course we do because we're parents, right? So here's when that kind of goes off the rails even more, is when you get to the teen stage and their brain is going through the second and final growth phase of our human lifetime, and they're going through a massive renovation to where their emotions are going from like 16 basic emotions to 87. So the complexity in their brain is like exploding, basically. They're getting all the new hardware in order to like have all this complex to become an adult. They're learning how to adult now, okay? They're individuating, which means they're figuring out their own, who they are in the world. What do they believe? What are their value systems? What are their opinions? Like, what's their way of expressing themselves? Are they goth? Are they preppy? Are they jock? Are they, I hate labels, but I'm just using them for the purpose of visualization, please. That's the only reason I'm just, because I don't have pictures in my hand, okay? But they're figuring out like how to be comfortable in their own skin, which is a whole process in itself, okay? They're also differentiating. So that individuation is what I talked about. It's a simultaneous psychological process called differentiating, which means they are required for the purpose of survival to figure out who they are without you. So they're developing their own social structure, social hierarchy. They're figuring out their own economy. It's a social economy. It is also a financial economy. They're figuring out resourcefulness. They're figuring out how to get their emotional needs met. They're figuring out what the impact of certain behavior, unfortunately a lot through trial and error, because God bless our teenagers are wired for risky behavior, novelty, and risk-taking. So yay them. Okay, so we've done an easy button. We might have had a bit of an easy button when we're parenting a child, right? But now we're parenting a teen. And their brain is totally different. And the first problem with the easy button is that the easy button isn't as easy. They don't, you know what age? That's a great question. It really, there's no like, it is roughly around 12 years old. It can be 10 to 12. It can be, it depends on the child, it depends on the brain. Scientifically, it's around 12 years old. My youngest started at 10. My oldest started at 10. My youngest started at 14. Also totally normal. So there's quite a range, okay? So if you had an easy button when they were a child, the reason that easy button might have worked for a purpose of distraction, teaching your self-soothing, because we're all about removing emotional pain. It's not going to work when they're a teenager because their brain is fundamentally different. It is even more heightened and more complex than when they were a toddler or a child. But if you're like me, you were raised in a home where we didn't do emotional expression. We didn't do emotional processing. We didn't talk about any hard, uncomfortable, hurtful, deep things. We didn't talk about them. In fact, they were shunned and shamed. You needed to deny and suppress that shit like right now because it made other people uncomfortable. And so we only talked about the happy, shiny, sparkly, joyful, peaceful emotions, feelings, and experiences. We didn't talk about the hard stuff. So if you were easy buttoning, because as a parent, it is like tenfold heart breaking open, turn it inside out, take a meat grinder to it, all those things to watch your child go through hard things. When they're a teen, this easy button, probably unconscious behavior that you might have been taught in your home of origin, Yeah, you totally relate. I'm so glad. That easy button behavior, unconscious kind of reactivity to your child to soothe them, calm them, soothe them, in order to not feel yourself, isn't probably working. So it doesn't work anymore. And I think, oh, I'm sorry, I hit my camera. This is probably one of the worst jokes on parents there ever was, particularly parents of teens, because this has nothing to do, I hope you hear me, this has nothing to do, and I would never question how much you love your child, how committed you are to your child's wellness and happiness, and how committed you are to finding like health and success on their, I already know all that. I know that. The easy button doesn't work in the teen years because their brains are more complex. So trying to soothe, shut down, and like put like the, you know, like a fire, if you see a fire starting, you're supposed to use like one of those safety blankets. Do you know what I mean? And you like throw it on top of the fire and it goes, and it like suffocates the fire essentially. So it stops the fire from growing or spreading or causing any damage, right? Okay, well, but that's essentially like the easy button. As a parent, is you're trying to like throw the wet blanket on the start of a fire because of the discomfort that it creates inside of you. So what's happening when you're trying to quickly like, you know, fix your teen is that you are teaching them that those really hard and uncomfortable feelings are not okay. They are not safe. They are not allowed. And they are going to feel guilty for feeling them because they see how much it upsets you. They're going to feel afraid to feel them because it was never safe to do so. And so they learn to deny and abandon and suppress them. And that is one of the biggest indicators, leading edges of mental health challenges. So this easy button thinking doesn't work. In fact, also science, all of my work is science-based, research backed, okay? Through hard feelings, you can undo it. You can start right now. You can undo it. I promise you. I've been doing this for 16 years. I undid it myself. I was raised that way and I undid it. I did the work, I undid it, and I undid it with my kids. We talk about all kinds of hard, hurtful, really rough, hard things, and it's safe and good. So it's also not working because of this. This is why the easy button doesn't work when you're parenting a teen, because now we live in an era of social media, right? So when things are hard over a period of time, right? We go to social media and we're like, I gotta find an answer. I've got to figure this out. I got to find an answer. So we are going through streams of social media and we're listening to podcasts and we're like reading the books, and they might be amazing podcasts and they might be amazing books. Like they might, you know, all good things, but you're like trying to ferociously like find the answer. You're still looking in those podcasts and in those books and in those scrolling of social media and reels and YouTube for an easy button. And what ends up happening is, in your desperate effort to support your child, which I know is your intention 100%, you are finding little pieces of this and that. It's like a mishmash of tools that I'm sure work, right? Work like tools and tricks and strategies. You're finding like you're taking a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this, and you're just like trying it all. Have you done that? You're just trying it all. You're trying it all at once. And because you're trying a little bit of everything, very little of it works. Because none of it is backed by a solid, holistic strategy by a framework. It's just like a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this. And then the worst part is when you try one of those tools and strategies and it doesn't work, because sometimes with a teenager, it doesn't work the first time, okay? You cannot control your teen. I don't know if you've tried. You can't control your teen and their behavior and their mental health. So you try one of these things once and it doesn't work. And so you decide that that tool or strategy is wrong. And so you throw it out. So you go pick the next one. And then you try that and maybe it works and maybe it doesn't. But you're just, because you are trying little bits of everything, it lacks consistency. Your teenager doesn't actually believe that what you're trying to do, although in loving intention, is going to stay. So they're confused. Your teenager is confused because they're like, wait, you tried this with me yesterday and now you're trying this and I don't, what? So your teenager's confused. So they get more escalated more often because they don't see you as a solid lead, concrete base, anchor, not moving, stable, safe thing that they can come and attach to when they are the kite. Can I get an amen? Your teenager is the kite. You, my friends, are the anchor. But they don't trust that you're the anchor when you're trying all these little random bits of everything all the time. And then because you're lacking consistency with any one particular framework, you decide not only do those tools not necessarily work, but it lowers your confidence as well. Because now you've decided, well, I must suck at this. Like, do you get the domino effect of trying to find the easy button when you're parenting your teens? Even thinking there is an easy button. Bribery, manipulation, coercion. They do see right through you. Yes, they see right through you. But here's the thing. They see right through you and sometimes manipulate that, right? Which that's not good either. They'll manipulate the fact that you're not anchored. You're not anchored and you're not solid, and they'll manipulate that. Not because they're bad kids, okay? That's how their brains are wired. They're just trying to meet these emotional needs that they don't even know what the heck those are. It's like, it's wow. But the other thing that ends up happening is they don't, not only can they get their way because they're more likely to be able to manipulate you, but they feel less safe with you. They feel less safe with you because your methods are haphazard all over the map, little bit of this, little bit of that, and nothing is consistent on a set framework. And they don't see you as the anchor that they need in their wild mess that is terrifying for them. You're not the anchor. So here's what I want to offer for you, okay? Is that parenting teens is hard. I hate to break it to you, but parenting teens is hard. And here's the other thing that I'm going to say that might really hurt your feelings today. There's no easy button. I'm sorry if you were told that what there was. I'm sorry if you were told that taking their phone is the easy button. I'm sorry if you were told that taking their gaming is the easy button. I'm sorry if you were told that greater control, stricter punishments, more consequences is the way to the easy button. It's not. You have been lied to, as was our parents, etc., by old and outdated parenting models that were based in the 1920s that ran until about the 1950s, were began to be disproven in psychology, but because that's when our grandparents were being raised, then that is what infused how our parents were raised, which then infused how we were raised. It is not true that what I want you to write in the comments if you're watching this is, what's your easy button? Zero judgment, okay? What's your easy button? Is it take their phone? Is it grounding? Is it take their gaming? Is it, what's their easy button? What's been your easy button? Because look, I wildly admire your courage for even being able to ask yourself the question, have I been using an easy button? Is it bribery? Is it, okay, I'll give you this if you do this? Or is it just that you've become passive because you're afraid of no internet? Great. Thank you. I love it. That's been your easy button. Phone for sure. Yeah. That's your easy button. And God love you for even one like, yeah. So it's going to be different for everyone. I have no judgment. Zero. Okay. Zero. It's teaching your teen to not emotionally regulate, because you're not emotionally regulating, because you are frantic. This is the way that, you know what I mean? Like that frantic, anxious feeling when your teenager is struggling in something, whether it's a one-time momentary thing or a thing over time, is that when you are struggling with that, it's like there's an anxiety, there's a franticness. And so what you're doing is reacting. Your easy button is a reaction from an emotional old story place in order usually to regain control as fast as possible and or to seek comfort. So regain control, like stop whatever they're doing and stop it right now, or to seek comfort. Stop the pain, stop the pain, stop the pain. Stop those feelings. We don't like those feelings. So you're seeking comfort, right? So what we're teaching our kids is to easy button their way through the world. We're teaching our kids to easy button what doesn't feel happy. We're teaching our kids to, I'm gonna just use this for 1 second. This is one of my favorite tools, which you can get via the link in my bio under freebies, is the feeling wheel. We're teaching our kids that only half of this feeling wheel is normal, when really it's the full thing, it's the whole human experience. We're teaching our kids that when they don't get their way, to control other people to get their way. So the counterintuitive thing, the other thing that I want you to do is to start noticing and naming how you are feeling. If you're feeling frantic because you can't fix them, if you're feeling like feelings that your teenager is having, you need to shut them down or comfort them to stop those feelings. No. What I need you to do is pick one strategy, simple, proven framework or strategy, and be consistent. Stop trying to find all the different strategies from all the books and all the podcasts and all the things and trying little bits of everything, and you're not doing any one thing consistently. If you picked a few tools, okay, and you were consistent with them, knowing that what your teenager actually needs is to feel discomfort. They need to struggle, not because you're a bad parent, but because scientifically we can prove that resilience is built through struggle. Not because you left them alone in a struggle and was like, well, you're on your own, too bad. Okay, no, not that. It's because through struggle, they learn to feel hope. Through feeling all of their human emotions, as you are going to model for them, they learn that all emotions are human and they don't need to be afraid of any of them, even though some of them feel hard and challenging. They learn to emotionally regulate, which you're going to model for them. And they learn to not look for an easy button and a way out, which is often substance use, avoidance. Well, that's pretty much it. Substance use and avoidance. Whether it's school, whether it's hard relationships, this is what they're learning. And the way to know if you're doing this is if you're using these controls and coercions, if you are uncomfortable with your own experience of when you feel that anxiety or that franticness and you react to it by just picking something, right? And you're trying to find the easy button, then you might be stuck in this cycle. And it's not serving you and the parent that I know that you want to be, that you're totally capable of being, but nobody ever told you this. Okay, this is not about intelligence. Like, there's no training for being a parent of a teen, so like none. And if you see your teenager, if you notice that your teenager is escalating, their emotional outbursts, they continue to escalate, then it's not working for them. Or if they begin to shut down and they're just shutting down, and they're perhaps expressing less and less, then it's this easy button thing isn't working. It's not working. So you can keep searching all of the free content on YouTube and social media and all of that to get little pieces of everything and keep this frantic thing going, trying to find an easy button. Or you can get a proven, consistent strategy that is science-based and works. My signature program is opening on April 3rd. Okay, if you're watching this video, I would love for you to either tap on my name, or there's a link below this. If you tap on my name, then in my profile, there's a link, and you can get on the wait list. It opens on Monday, and you can hear more about my 3-step framework. It's all science-backed. I can give you all of the research and how I'm going to walk you through that, okay, over 60 days to give you consistency with proven tools to create the change that you're looking for, to have the relationship you want with your teen, to feel calmer and more confident, which is the two things that I've done this with thousands of parents to help thousands of their teenagers. The two things they tell me most: they feel calmer because they know that they don't have to find an easy button, that it's okay. They feel more confident because they know exactly what to say and when to say it, specific scripts. They know why their teen is acting the way they're doing, and that's also okay. Their teenager feels safer. Their teenagers send me messages to say thank you. Their teenagers say, I think my mental health is better because of you. That's kind of funny. So, rather than trying to seek this easy button and this franticness and looking for these bits and pieces all over, which are probably all good, but they're not part of a holistic, consistent, science-based strategy, it's time to sink into that. Because the change you're looking for isn't going to happen the way you're doing it. So can we just let go of this whole easy button idea? Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for watching. Tap on my name, then the link in my profile to get on the wait list for Monday, or click the link below this video and I will see you there. Thanks everybody. Bye.